Hey y'all, it's Kymeri. I hope everyone's having an amazing day today. For the last 2 weeks, I had the opportunity to play the Marvel Rivals closed beta. Fortunately, I was able to get into it on the first wave from signing up on Steam. I'm going to be giving y'all my thoughts and impressions over the time that I got to play and live stream the beta over on my Twitch channel. Remember to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the content, and with that out of the way, let's get started with the gameplay and characters. I felt that the gameplay was as smooth as butter most of the time, except there were a bit of optimization issues on the Tokyo maps specifically. Honestly, my biggest gripe is that the optimization does need to improve overall, but I'm letting it slide for now because it is a closed beta after all. Other than that, it plays very nicely, and it reminds me a lot of my time playing Overwatch 1 with friends in 2016. I haven't had that feeling in a long time playing games, so it was an absolute breath of fresh air for me. I didn't play any of the ranked or competitive modes during the beta, so I can't really touch on anything that happened there. To me, each hero feels unique, and it felt how I would have imagined playing as them in a multiplayer hero shooter. I didn't get to try all the heroes because I found some that I really enjoyed and mostly played them, such as Luna Snow, Venom, Scarlet Witch, Adam Warlock, and Thor. I feel that they really nailed that aspect down in the game. I played a lot of the Vanguards, the tanks, and strategists, the supports, and I have to say this is one of the games where I found all the support characters feel very fun to play, and I enjoyed each one outside of Loki because I didn't play him much during my time in the beta. One thing that I would like to see is some sort of role limit in the game. I don't think necessarily a straight up role queue because that would be a lot more limiting. But if we had role limits in the game, it could prevent some of the more troll stuff that was going on during the beta. I know the devs said no to role queue, but this might be a better option if it gets out of hand. What I truly love about Marvel Rivals is that it's not afraid to take from aspects of all forms of Marvel content such as the MCU and comics. Heck, I didn't even know who Luna Snow or Penny Parker was until I did some research after seeing them, and now I want to read those comics and get back into reading more comics overall. Let's dive into the maps. There were only 2 maps, but 2 different areas of the maps, making it a total of 4 during the closed beta, and featured Domination, Convoy, and Convergence as the game mode. The game modes were standard, but they were a ton of fun on Ixgard and Tokyo 2099. I absolutely loved the destructible environments during the games as well. I honestly cannot wait to see what other famous Marvel locations they pull from because there are a ton of options to choose from. They can also take fresh approaches with the maps, such as what they did with Ixgard, a version of Asgard that was fused with Yggdrasil and the World Tree after the Time Strain entanglement, so we could see a lot of different ideas like that in the future. Alright, now let's talk about one of the more heated topics of the closed beta, the overall access and Twitch drops. Of course, we need to bring up this topic of the beta access and the aforementioned Twitch drops. I can only really speak from the PC side because that was my platform of choice. Initially, to get into the beta, you needed to go into your Steam, head to the Marvel Rivals page, and request access. I was fortunate enough to get access this way along with my girlfriend who also did this. Shout out to Niels for reminding me to do this as well. I feel that this was the best approach getting into the beta because you weren't fighting other people or bots for codes. I kinda wish they did this on waves on Steam throughout the beta. Not sure entirely if this was the case or not because the other 2 methods were really rough. Before I talk about the other ways to get into the beta, I want to say that I hear y'all that didn't get in. I didn't love this system because it was more prone to scalping and selling codes and forcing people to pay to play a beta, which I don't like at all. The second way to obtain a beta key was to have a friend in the beta reach level 6 and try to claim a code in-game. These codes went fast. As soon as they refreshed, they were pretty much gone for the day. I was lucky enough to be able to snag one of these for a friend on day 2 of the beta who wanted to play, but once you use your free code, that's it. You essentially had to set an alarm for the reset time and hope you could obtain a code for a friend of yours that wanted to get into the beta. The third way, and probably the most controversial, was the Twitch drops. As someone who loves Twitch drops, I felt this was very disappointing for the player base as a whole. Not only was it super buggy for people to obtain the Twitch drop, once that happened, you had to go to the rival site and you had to be there on the key refresh time, which was 8 PM Eastern, and hope to Asgard that you got a code. I didn't even promote the drops when I was streaming because I knew how bad it was. Personally, I wish the Twitch drops were some form of cosmetics, avatars, sprays, anything would have been better than the code drops. That way, even if you didn't get into the beta, you could link your account to the rival site and obtain the rewards once you get to play the game. I'm not entirely sure if that's possible, but I would have much rather had that than the chaos surrounding the drops for the beta. I think more emphasis on doing waves on Steam through the request access would have been better on top of the friend codes at level 6. It was just way too difficult to get one of these through the Twitch drops, and of course, you're fighting against the bots and scalpers that want to sell these things for money, so it's a really tough battle. Overall, I really enjoyed the beta in the 2 weeks that I got to play. It was a ton of fun getting to play with some of the community who also got into the beta, and I'm amped for others to be able to experience this game as well. It was a really nice feeling to enjoy and have the same feelings with a hero shooter that I did with Overwatch 1 way back in 2016. I'm really looking forward to the next beta, whether it be another closed beta or the open beta, which would mean we are closer to the global release of Marvel Rivals. What would you like to see in Marvel Rivals? Let me know how your beta experience was down below in the comment section. Much love, y'all. Kymeri out.